Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so for today's video we are going to be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to do a smoky eye. I will go into blending techniques, things that you should do, things that you shouldn't do, things to avoid, things to do, things to practice and all that stuff. So if you want to see how to do a step-by-step tutorial on a smoky eye, please keep watching. Smoky eyes are my go-to eye looks. I think it's beyond beautiful. It suits like deeper skin tones so well. It's also really easy to do, but you just need to master the technique of doing it. And I know a lot of you like these step-by-step teaching tutorials because it may be easier to follow and all that stuff. So we will just quickly jump in. I'll bring you guys closer. I'll show you how I do the eyes, and then the rest of the face we will just time-lapse it because you've seen me do my makeup a lot of times. So today we'll just focus on the eyes. Okay, so first step is definitely the eyebrows. I'm using the Sofwanah Cosmetics Mesmerize Brow Pencil in Coffee. I will quickly do my brows and then we can start with the eyes. Okay, so now with the eyebrows done, the first thing that I always do with any eye look is I put down concealer. So I clean up the eyebrows and then I apply a layer of concealer to the entire eyelid. This is because sometimes we have coloring on the eyelid. Like if you can see, my eyelids on the inside are slightly darker than the rest, or sometimes you have veins and all that stuff. So the concealer would just even out the color of the eyelid so that whatever eyeshadow that we put on goes on really well and is true to color. So let's do that. Okay, so that's done. It looks a bit crazy, but just ignore it. So today I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is the Dark Magic palette. This is by far one of my favorite palettes to do smoky eyes with because the black shade in this is super pigmented. Like let me show you. Like if you can see, look at that. That is really black. It's very hard with eyeshadows to actually get it to be really black. Even when they are formulating it, it's actually very difficult to get matte shades, darker shades that are really pigmented. So I was thoroughly impressed when I actually got this palette. So yes, so this palette actually got it from a store from Instagram. It's called Revolution Blossom. They do stock a lot of palettes from the US, Morphe, ColourPop, you name it, it is there. So I did get it from them. It was ready stock, so if you're interested you can always head on over. Okay, now coming back to the eyes. So the first thing, okay, so let's just chat a bit. For your smoky eye, the base is the most important, the base that you're putting down. So I believe smoky eye is basically your black, and your black needs to be really pigmented. If not, it's not going to look as smoky as we want it to be. So there's two ways to get the black to be really black. Even though the eyeshadow is really black already, sometimes when you put it on top there is chances for the eyeshadow to sort of fade out and become like a gray. We do not want that. We want it to stay true to color. We want it to be its blackest black. So two ways. So first thing is you can use a gel liner. So if you have a black gel liner, you can use that as a base. Just draw like a half moon on your eyelid, pack on your black color eyeshadow, and then you're good to go, and then you can start your blending. So that will keep the black true to color. But I don't have any gel eyeliners at the moment, but that's what I used to do last time. So another thing is you need to do is you need to get an eyeshadow primer. So this is really important, especially if you're doing heavy eye looks. Eyeshadow primer is the most important. I am using the e.l.f. one. As you can see, my tube is like empty, like I've been squeezing this out like mad. But there's also an eyeshadow primer at Guardian at this brand called April Skin. I'll pop up a picture like right here. This one is so good. I've tried it before. I finished it. It is really, really, really good. So if you are someone who does a lot of eyeshadow primer is your best friend. It will just, because eyeshadow primer essentially creates like a base, it's like a glue for the eyeshadow to stick on. So yeah, I'm trying to squeeze out as much as I can. But I won't use a lot because I don't want the eyelid to be drenched in primer. I just want it to be sticky. I am applying it on the eyelid alone. I'm not bringing it too high because I need the space to do my blending. So just applying it. So next up, I'm taking a brush that looks like this. It is filled with like black shadow. Please ignore that. It's basically like a shorter brush, but when you turn it to the side, it's thinner. So this actually just packs on the color. So I'm just going to dunk my brush into the black generously. I'm not going to tap it off because I want the color to be really, really pigmented. Now I'm just going to pack it on. Oh, that is beautiful. So I'm just packing it on in the areas that I have applied the eye primer. And because the primer is like sticky and like slightly wet, the eyeshadow will immediately just stick to it. It acts like magnet. And yes, that is beautiful. So I just concentrated on my eyelid first. Okay, so concentrating it on my eyelid, I look like a panda. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking that same brush, I'm just using the tip of it, and I'm going to go in small circular motions just to buff out the line a bit. I'm going to be blending it on the black. So for example, if I have, how do I say this? If I have brought the black under here, I'm not going to blend here, I'm going to blend on that line, if that makes sense. Because I don't want the black to go on top, I just want to diffuse the line a bit. So just on that line, just so that once I start my second color, it'll be easier to diffuse out. Okay, so that's about it. That's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to grab another brush. So I'm grabbing like a blending brush. So this is technically, focus. So this is what a blending brush looks like. It's sort of domed on the top and then pinched at the barrel. So that's what we want. I'm going to go in with this dark brown. Tap off. So we don't tap off the black because we want the black to be really pigmented, but we will tap off any other color that we're blending so that we have that smoky effect, if that makes sense. So now I'm just going to go in small circular motions from the outside to the inside. I'm just going to be cautious of this bone. So you don't want any eyeshadow to touch this area because it can hollow out your eye. So let's do that. Again, I'm not going to be blending above the black. I'm sort of blending it on the black shadow so that the colors can mix. Okay, so now I'm taking another blending brush. I am going to take this light color. So the idea with the smoky eye is I wanted to go from like a black to a brown and then to a very soft brown. The color that I'm using is and it's a very cool tone brown and I really, really like it. So I'm going to just keep blending on the outer edges just to soften the outside. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Okay, so as you can see, it looks slightly like weird now, but let me explain. So with eyeshadow, for example, if you're putting your first color, second color and third color, because they are all powders, no matter what base that you put down, you are working with powders. So how it works is when you put down your color A, when you're doing color B, as you're blending color B, the pigment of color A will reduce because you're essentially brushing off powders. So when you're blending color C, color B and A would reduce, if that makes sense. So what you got to do is you got to just repeat the process. So you just go A, B, C, and then you come back A, B, C, if that makes sense. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go in with the black, the brown, the dark brown, going in with the black, I'm going in with the black instead of the third color because I can see the third color already there. I just need to work on the black and the brown. So you just got to see what color is sort of like kurang and reduce, and you just work on those. Okay, so that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. So smoky eye is basically just blending, putting your colors down and blending. So, okay, so now I'm going to do this eye and then we will come back. Okay, so lashes done. Now I'm just gonna do my face. I will show you every product I'm using, and then we will come back together and we do the lash line. Okay, so face done. The highlighter though, oh my goodness, I have a love obsession with the Physicians Formula Butter Highlight. It is so beautiful. It's like cream to powder, which is amazing. Amazing. I'm just sharpening my cudgel. So one of the best cudgels, not one of the best, the best cudgel that I've ever tried is the Rimmel Scandal Eye Cudgel. It's a waterproof one. Trust me when I say this is the best cudgel I've ever tried in my entire life. It stays on really well. I have an oily lash line, so very easily cudgel would actually collect at the end of my eye. Like I'll have like a smudge here if I'm doing this. With this, it does not go anywhere because it's also a gel based one, which is amazing. So I'm just going to do my waterline and then we can buff it out together. Even you guys, for the top, remember I was talking to you about the base, you can also actually just draw this as a half moon and set it with like black eyeshadow. It works the same way. So can you see? Oh, amazing. So the trick with lash line is basically whatever color that you put on top, you're going to put down. So we're going to use the black and the dark brown. I'm using these two brushes. These are like small pencil brushes. I'm going to use this one for the black and this one for the brown. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the same palette. I'm going to take black. And I'm just going to smoke it out from this end to inside. But when I come inside, I'm not going to do it very thick. A bit more thinner. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Now we're going to do the brown. And there you go, that's about it. So let me do this side. Okay, that's about it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply some inner corner highlight, which will just bring everything together. It just sort of just opens up your inner corners. So I'm taking that same brush that we used on the nose. I'm just going to grab my Physicians Formula one and just that is so beautiful. Okay, so let me just quickly finish up the lips. Okay guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this step-by-step tutorial to do a smoky eye. I absolutely love how everything has come out. Usually when I do a smoky eye, I always do the lips a bit more nudish because it's already very heavy on the eyes. If you like a bold lip, please go ahead and do that. It's totally fine. If you do create this, please do tag me on Instagram. I would love to see what you've done. And yeah, also let me know down in the comments down below what kind of tutorial you want to see next, especially like step-by-step. What would you like to see next, and then I can do that for you guys. So yes, so I think yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching until here. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.